Hello guys, LazyBeast here. Now in this video is a complete to-do list for you for week 2, which is the start of season 2 in patch 11.1 Undermined for World of Warcraft. This to-do list is not listed in any particular order of priority because we all play the game a little bit differently, but the aim of this guide is to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the content when it comes to week 2 of the patch. Just some quick fire tips before you dive into the season. Do some of your admin tasks if you haven't already. Week 1 was perfect with this, but you may have been putting them off, so consider doing things such as making sure all your add-ons are up to date, making any tweaks to your UI that you may have been needing for a while, such as updated weak auras, especially if your class has gone through any changes in the patch. For raiders, I would highly recommend that you read some boss guides, or even better, watch some videos on boss guides. You can bookmark specific tips for your class spec or role, and discuss some strategies with your raid team as well. For anybody serious though, I'm sure you've already done this. Similar for Mythic Plus players, what I would do is make sure you familiarise yourself with the Season 2 dungeon pool. There are some old dungeons returning, and of course some new ones from War Within as well. But don't just leave this up to your tanks, make sure you are familiar with routes and things like that. Of course these may change over time, and just check out any specific changes to the older dungeons, for example Mechagon, because you might be surprised when you come in to do those as keys in Season 2 of Undermine. Okay, so we'll get through this pretty quickly, nice and concise, no wasting of your time. What I would do first of all is complete the Undermine campaign. We got up to chapter 4 in week 1, I would do chapters 5 and 6, shouldn't take very long, but you can finish off the story up to now, and you also will get a quest to go in on story mode into the new raid Liberation of Undermine and kill Gallywix. Doing this will net you a free enchanted crest, so you can use this of course to get yourself a nice crafted piece of gear which could set you up quite nicely at the start of the season. Once you've done the campaign, start doing delves. So we will need to unlock delves again in the difficulty tiers, so I think we're going to start at level 2, so you have to jump in there, unlock level 3 all the way up to level 11 once more. Bran is also going to reset as well. His level won't actually reset, but his Curios will. So you'll have to start going into delves and unlocking all of the new Curios and figuring out which build works best for you with Bran in delves. The aim here should be to unlock at least tier 8 delves and complete as many of those as you can to fill up your weekly vaults for the week. Remember that gear rewards from delves does still cap out at tier 8, so you'll get the highest reward from the end of the delve chest itself, and also the highest reward from the weekly vault for doing tier 8 delves. Do remember that you will want to be completing Bountiful delves for these as well. It is likely to be the case that you will not have enough Bountiful keys, the restored Coffer keys, to complete the Bountiful delves and open the chest, so what you might end up doing is completing some tier 8 delves without actually being able to open the chest, just in order to get yourself a full weekly vault. When it comes to Mythic Plus dungeons, jump in there and get yourself a key, or jump in someone else's key as well to earn yourself a key from the end of the run. You want to aim to go as high as you can, of course, in week 1 of the season, get yourself some score under your belt, and start filling up your weekly vault on the Mythic Plus tier as well. So complete as high as possible, 8 Mythic Plus dungeons at least to fill up your weekly vault there. And then when it comes to the raid, do of course clear the raid as much as you can on the highest difficulty that is available to you. Don't forget about killing the world boss as well. We're going to head into more world content territory now for these tips as well. So do kill the world boss. You've got a brand new world boss in Undermine, should be active week 1. So kill that guy, you can get some decent pieces from him as well. While you're doing all these things, you also want to be keeping an eye on your Valorstones and your Crests as well. So there will be of course a cap to both Valorstones, which is still 2,000, and Crests, they vary differently as well. So just keep an eye on how many you've got. If you do cap out and you can earn more, then consider spending some, but try not to waste these on upgrades that you might use for a little bit, but then you might get yourself a much better reward later on, or maybe even the week after. So just keep an eye on your levels as you go forward and try and keep as close to capped out as you possibly can. When it comes to world content, the main thing that you're trying to go for here is, first of all, initially reputation, but also Coffer key shards and restored Coffer keys. So you want to make sure that you complete world content, such as the weekly world quests. The Radiant Echoes events as well, I would recommend doing those because these are going to give you Coffer key shards. I would recommend doing them in as big a group as you can, because the more enemies you kill in the Radiant Echo, the more Valorstones that you will receive, and the more Coffer key shards you'll receive as well. We will feel quite starved of restored Coffer keys at the start of the season, which is perfectly normal, so do everything you can to get them. Now, they do also sometimes come, remember, from world quests, so occasionally a world quest will be on your map that grants you 25 Coffer key shards. Just make sure you do that as well as any other relevant world quests such as the ones in Undermine, to keep granting yourself Cartels of Undermine reputation. There should be, at some point in the week, the special assignment in Undermine as well. Now, it has been there this week, we completed it early on. Bear in mind, these are meant to rotate every 3.5 days on average, and they're usually only active in 2 zones at once, but I can see it that because Undermine is relatively new, well, it's brand new, they should probably put the special assignment back in Undermine again, because it makes sense, everyone's there. But wherever the special assignment is, I would recommend going and doing that anyway, even if it's in the other existing zones of Kaz Algar. Remember, the first 2 special assignments and world events that you complete will grant you a piece of gear, and also some Valorstones as well. Now, in doing all this type of content, it's very likely that you will loot your Fractured Spark of Fortune for the week. Now, it is the case that we are going to get 1 piece of the Spark of Fortune each week. It has changed, it is called the Spark of Fortune, rather than the Spark of whatever it was called last season, I can't quite remember. But yeah, just make sure that you do loot this week. If you haven't got one come the end of the week, just make sure you do some more content, such as boss kills and delves and Mythic Plus runs, but I highly doubt you're going to make it through the week without getting a piece of your Spark. Now, Cartels of Undermine reputation is still pretty important because there are a couple of breakpoints at which you can get yourself a piece of gear. I believe it's boots and gloves. The information correct will be on the screen. I can't remember now off the top of my head. So make sure you do things such as the weekly dungeon quest from Beergoth in Donegal. It was active in week 1 of the season. It was granting us 1500 rep with the Cartels of Undermine. So just check with Beergoth if this quest is active again. If it is, do whatever dungeon it tells you to do and get yourself 1500 reputation. Do also remember that it is the Dark Moon First still in week 2 of the season at the beginning, so you can make advantage of that to get yourself 10% bonus reputation gains. And you're going to probably feel quite busy with all this content to do, so do as much of that as you possibly can, and just to give you some bonus things to do as well if you run out of things to do, which is very unlikely. Do remember that the Traveller's Log has reset this time. It's a new month, so we've got new trading post items, so realistically, most of the things that we've covered already in this to-do list are going to get you a lot of progress on your Traveller's Log, so just make sure you do other things as well to fill it up if you need to. And just enjoy the zone of Undermine. It's a pretty cool zone, as most of us have experienced so far, so do anything else there, finish off any side quests that you've still got, and just enjoy yourself. And one last thing, just to let you know, we have finished up the Transmog competition for February. The winner has been announced for that. The new theme for this month, for March 2025, has been announced, which is Undermine Misfits. So I'll leave a link to the website in the description where you can go over there and check out the details for how to enter this and what the prize is this month, which is again the lovely little Transmog Champions Victorious mug. So you can get your hands on that if you do win this competition. And also on the website there is a written version of this very guide which will be kept bang up to date, so if there are any changes or new discoveries next week, I will pop those in the written guide for you guys to be made aware of. Link in the description below. That's it for this guide, guys. I've been LazyBeast. Thank you very much for watching and for your time today. If you have enjoyed the video, do consider leaving it a like to support the channel and subscribing to get more content and guides all about World of Warcraft from me, LazyBeast. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day and good luck in Season 2. Catch you next time. Cheers.